Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the chat. Anyway, hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, and it's a terrific Tuesday already. Let me share this out, and then we'll see who all's coming in. Okay, we got reconnected. Hello, hello, hello. Make sure my sound is off. And it is. All right, so how's everybody doing? It was a rough night for me and a rough day, but I'm here and I'm happy that you have chosen to come in and join. So come on in, weather's fine. And we're going to start by doing the heart brain coherence. Hand on your heart and slow down the breathing, and then add in some love. Just take a moment to breathe. The breath is the connector. So as you breathe in, add in some love. Love for yourself, love for others, compassion, joy. Bring it right into your heart. And then we'll start saying our affirmations. I am enough. I am worthy. I am abundant. I am healthy. Miracles happen to me every day, and I love myself. I'm a miracle magnet. And what is yours? Good morning, Jennifer Langren. Good morning, Sophia. Hello, darling. Thank you for being with us this morning. I know it's late at night for you, right? Where you are. But it's a great day to have a great day, and I hope that it is. Grab your cuppa so you can fill it up with some love that's going to flow right here with everybody. Hi, Julie Kiss. So let's do a little check-in. Let me know how you're doing, what's going on in your world, not just the weather. How are you doing? What's going on and what are you up to? Is there anything exciting that you want to share with us? Is there something you want to let us know about that's going on in your world? I'd love to hear it. Oh, it's only afternoon there for you, Sophia. Okay, well, good. I hope it's going well on this beautiful day. The 17th already of February. It feels like we just started the year, and here we are a month and a half in, right? So, Julie, are you still in Florida? Where are you, my dear? Because I'm going to be headed to Central Florida soon. And if you're going to be there still, I would love to stop and see you. The new moon in Aquarius, is that today, Sophia? I have not been keeping up with the moon phases. I know when it's full moon, I think we all can really recognize that just from the energy of it. So it is terrific Tuesday. What's terrific about your Tuesday? Come in and share. Share what's happening, what's joyful, what's wonderful in your world. And Jennifer, thank you for sharing this out. And if you all would let the P's know that we're on, that would be wonderful. I'm going to just take a moment and share this to a couple of people who are not in our messenger group so that they can find it. So let me share it to Deirdre. There you are. Let me share it to you. She's asking for the link. Okay. All right. Shared and shared. There you are, Deirdre. Thank you for coming in and being with us. We just did the affirmations. And I know Deirdre keeps track of, we have been saying those together. It's 340 something. I'm sure she will let us know. And pretty soon it will be a whole year of saying affirmations together. Isn't that amazing? And look at so thank you to those who are joining us in putting our efforts together light into the world. I'm going to see if I can get this chat to show again on the screen because it was doing something really weird. There we go. All right, now it's showing right because it was like a whole conversation that was going on with somebody on Facebook. All right, day 343 of saying those affirmations together. How amazing. Good morning, Linda Lemieux. Sophia, you have a client with an 18-year-old son in ICU due to an accident. We certainly will. If we can have his first name, we will put him on our prayer list, Sophia, but we'll definitely lift him up in prayer. And Pat Moss, hello, darling. Good afternoon to you. All right, so we have people finding us now. Andrea, there you are, my smiley girl. Thank you for being here. You were up late last night. Like I said, I had a rough day, another episode, and so I fell asleep and then woke up like around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and got the message done from the angels. They were able to wake me up to do that. And I saw Andrea and a couple of other people that were still up posting and sending messages. And then I was awake in the morning. So, yeah, it was an up and down night for me. I don't know how you all are doing, but it could have been the upset stomach. It could have been the moon. It could have been just the angels waking me up and dreaming like crazy. I had a lot of dreams about all of you. You were in my dream. We were going somewhere. We were taking a trip together. Kathy Hand, good morning. Kathy, are you still in North Carolina or are you back home now and on your way to work? Joanne, good morning. So good to see your face this morning. Okay, Sophia, thank you. I will put that on the prayer list for sure. Okay, so do you have anything terrific to report? And we'll all get behind that as excitement for us to share together. All right, well, let's do story time. Since nobody is sharing anything, I would love for you to share what's going on because we love celebrating. And we're going to celebrate some time together in October. I need to do a little check-in with people and see if we are going to have enough to do a retreat. I know you all have been asking for it, but I do have date and place. So I will put that out as soon as I can and see if there's enough that people are going to come to it in Virginia Beach in October, and we'll do that retreat. Still in North Carolina. Oh no, I don't wish stomach issues on anyone with all that I've been through with them. Brandy, good morning to you, and thank you for your affirmations. All right, so let's do story time. And the story time is, if I can get it open, one breath can change everything. So true. All right, get this where I can see you all. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. That's from Charles Swindoll. In my years of coaching, spiritual counseling, and walking beside souls on their healing journeys, there's one simple tool I return to again and again: the pause. It sounds almost too easy to be life-changing, and yet it is. I will confess something to you. Learning the pause was not natural for me. My old tendency was the knee-jerk reaction. If something felt critical, threatening, or unfair, I reacted swiftly, passionately, sometimes explosively. I used to joke and say it was my dad's Irish temper passed down to me. Any excuse will do when we do not want to look at the fingers pointing back at us, right? But here's the truth that changed everything. Your reaction is your responsibility. And that realization is both humbling and empowering. Why does the pause change everything? Because life hands us constant triggers, such as a text message that feels unclear, a comment that hits a sensitive nerve, a social media post that sparks outrage, a conversation that feels confrontational. Boom, the knee comes up, words spill out, energy escalates, and just like that, peace dissolves. The pause is the sacred space between stimulus and response. It is emotional intelligence in action. It is spiritual maturity embodied. It is nervous system regulation in real time. The pause is not weakness, it is power. When you pause, you breathe before reacting, ground your energy, regulate your nervous system, interrupt generational patterns, communication, and create inner peace instead of chaos. That moment of stillness gives your higher self time to lead instead of your wounded self. That is so important. I want to have that up in the comments. So if somebody can type that in, that moment of stillness gives your higher self time to lead instead of your wounded self. Okay, we'll talk about this in just a minute. So many of the conflicts we see in our families, communities, and even globally are simply reactions colliding with reactions. Imagine if we practiced the pause collectively. Imagine if instead of rage, we chose regulation. Instead of assumption, we chose curiosity. Instead of ego, we chose compassion. The world does not change through louder arguments. It changes through regulated nervous systems and awakened hearts. This is personal growth. This is mindfulness. This is conscious living. This is spiritual awakening in everyday moments. Dear angels, how do we remember to pause when emotions feel overwhelming? Well, dear ones, the pause is not created in the storm. It is practiced in the calm. I've got to stop because this is so important, people. It's a habit to get into. And with any habit, you have to practice it over and over. So the pause is not created in the storm. It is practiced in the calm. Begin with small moments. Pause before answering simple questions. Pause before sending routine messages. Train your spirit to breathe before speaking. As you practice in peace, you will access the pause in chaos. When emotion surges, do not shame yourself. Simply breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your shoulders soften. Invite wisdom forward. You are not your first reaction. You are the awareness behind it. Power lives in the space you choose, and you always have a choice. Life will always deliver the unexpected. Life will always test your triggers. Life will always offer opportunities to grow, but you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are 10% what happens. You are 90% how you respond. And that 90%, that is your freedom. That is your healing. That is your peace. The pause is your superpower. So use it. The angels whisper, breathe before you speak. Ground before you react. Choose love before you escalate. In the sacred pause, you reclaim your power. In the sacred pause, you become peace. Today, I promise to always let the pause be my go-to before each response. This is such an important message. I feel like I'm teaching it. I've taught the pause so many times in life, so many times that I work with clients and I help them to integrate this and to really get into what does that mean? What does it mean to stop for just a minute, a second, a breath? That's all it takes. It really does. That's all it takes. When you slow down everything and you take that breath in and you pause before you react or respond, whichever you're going to do, you're going to either react to that trigger or you're going to say, no, wait, what am I thinking here? Right? What am I thinking? Wait. And then respond. So let me put it up on the screen. And thank you, Brandy, for typing that in. The moment of stillness gives your higher self time to lead instead of your wounded self. Your wounded self will always have the knee jerk. Your wounded self will say, no, wait a minute. I'm getting very defensive at this message, at this text, at this word that somebody says, at this argument that has started. That's what the wounded self will do because that's the triggering moment. Something has happened in your past. Maybe it's resolved, maybe it's not. Obviously, if you're still being triggered, there's some more work to do on it. But when you use this method, this tool that we all can use, then something shifts and something changes. Of a volcanic event happening is just a learning moment, right? Every experience can be a learning moment if we allow it. We make choices every second of every day. And if we choose to grow spiritually, emotionally, If we want to become more emotionally intelligent, where we're not always exploding out of ourselves all over everybody, then we will learn some of these tools. And this one is the one I go to the most when I'm teaching, when I'm working with clients, doing coaching, counseling, helping somebody just with the situation. I always teach this method. And those of you who have worked with me one-on-one know this for a fact, that I work with you on using the pause because it's going to bring you to a more peaceful place. Good morning, Sally and Tony. And Andrea says, this is a wise message and great teaching. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for being here. All right, so what else we got? Oh, Brandy, I'm sorry you had to go, but thank you for coming in. So what do you all think about the pause? What do you think about the angel's message? I think it's something that we need to hear right now. And I love that thought that if we could learn how to use this method, learn how to pause before we just go into a rage. If you're on the road, it's a good thing to have under your belt because you might encounter a situation where it could turn into road rage. So using the pause is one of the best things you can do for yourself. It really is life-changing. As I said in the message, it seems so small, doesn't it? Just take a breath, take a moment. Don't give out that first automatic response. Don't say the same thing you've always said, but see if there's a way to reword it that's not going to create something volatile with that person you're speaking with. When you misread a message and you think that somebody's saying something that they may not really be saying, take a moment with it. Don't immediately reply. Sit with it and use your intuition and say, okay, how can I get clarity on this? And then you can open up a conversation. So Deirdre says, I remember the pause early on in your teachings. Golden lessons never age. Thank you, my Deirdre. Sally says, I'm having a hard time letting go of a comment from a friend who thinks there are more important things in life than freeing the missing children. I just can't with the energy right now. I don't even want to see on Facebook currently because of all the horrible energy that's all over it. I don't do social media for that reason. I don't do news for that reason. We choose where we're going to put our energy. And yes, I post on Facebook. I post the message every night after the angels write it. Then I put that out and just check my messages that I might have from people. But yeah, it's a good thing to take a break, a social media break, because it can turn into a very volatile situation if there's stuff going on that's going to trigger us. If there's something you're very passionate about, then sure, there's things that are going to trigger. If somebody has said something that could be seen as abrasive. All right, what does Kuan Yin have to say? Grace carries you home. At the end of your efforts, when your resources are exhausted and you are without further recourse, I am there for you with loving, wild grace to carry you home. Thank you, Kuan Yin. That is a beautiful message to know that we can fall back into that grace at any moment. We can go back into our peace by going into our heart. Yes, Andrea, it is a wonderful tool to have. And Kathy says, the pause is good for yourself and the other people around you. Many times we do not think how our actions affect others, especially those very close to us. Yeah, that's a lot of the things where we get triggered, isn't it? a text, a word that's taken out of context. There's a lot that can happen when we're in a relationship or in a family situation or even with friends. There's things that can be taken the wrong way, or maybe they are taken the way they're meant, and it's something that's very upsetting. Well, that's not the time to react. It's the time to look inside and self regulate, become more emotionally intelligent in how you handle the situations. I have taught emotional intelligence workshops before, and many of you have been in them. So I know that you have some of these tools. Maybe we need a refresher on that workshop. That would be something wonderful to do, wouldn't it? Good morning, Brookie and sweet little Max. Thank you for being here. And Sally says, I find myself being more of a spokesperson full of his children and their right for peace as well. Amen, sister. We need more of that for sure. Deirdre says, Sally, you don't have to give it your energy. Sometimes triggers are lessons needed, even after we think we're past a certain point. We always have choices. We always have things that are going to trigger us, just like the message said. Every day there's going to be something. There's going to be an experience. Many times those triggering moments and those explosive energies, and those are wonderful days to put under our craw and say, I remember that day and I want more of that, please. So anytime we can have joy in our lives, what a great thing to focus on, right? And I loved was it the angel message or was it Yogananda from yesterday? Yesterday was such a great day, teaching day as well, because it taught us that we don't have to go into the energy of everything that we see, every situation. We don't have to take that on as us. We can respond to it, yes. We can use it for teaching, yes. But we don't have to let it upset our apple cart. And for us, it's a matter of maintaining our spiritual high, maintaining that place where we can be more of a light in the world than joining in with the lower vibrational energy, because it's a proven fact that whatever energy we're exhibiting, that goes out into the collective energy. So if we're using abrasive energy, if we're argumentative, that goes out into the lower vibration and brings the whole frequency of the planet down. Annie, good morning. Michelle Landers, good morning to you. And Sally says, I think I will just back out of Facebook once I see nothing but political, presidential BS. More peace that way. Oh, there's so much more peace that way. Trust me. When I was in India, I couldn't get TikTok, and I was a TikTok fanatic because I really liked some of the humor on TikTok. There were things I didn't miss, and that was all of the political and the upsetting arguments. But in India, you can't get TikTok. And so I was 3 months without TikTok. I haven't even bothered to try to go back on it. It feels so good and so peaceful not to be on that social media. And Facebook is just as bad. It really is. It's very argumentative. It's very tumultuous. So yeah, I just stay in my own happy place and be with all of you peas. That's the most wonderful place to be. Jennifer, good morning. You're Jenna at Jean's house. Oh, sweet. You're there with Pocket and Gruff and Razzmatazz and Wissy Bee and Blue and Lulabelle. So I'm so happy that you're there. And the horses, of course, we can't forget our sweet little dragons. All right, so what does Yogananda have for us today out of the spiritual diary? If in the darkness the mind never wavers, if love and longing never grow weak, It is then that you prove to yourself that you really have the love of God. I'm going to read that again because that was so good. If in the darkness the mind never wavers, if love and longing never grow weak, it is then that you prove to yourself that you really have the love of God. We don't have to prove that to ourselves, but that is the sign, right? We all love signs. That's one of the signs that we have put God first. And I've talked about this a lot now over the last couple of months. Putting God first in our life means I'm not going to constantly sit on a social media that's all anger and arguments and disruption of life. Sorry, I'm plugging in my computer. Putting God first means just that, putting God first. Do I see God in some of the things on social media? Yeah, because I have like-minded friends that make sure they post positive things on social media, especially on Instagram. I go there sometimes just to get my feel of positive. And I know our Leo is on there a lot, so he's always putting uplifting stuff out there. But if we take the time that's necessary to put God first, to do our spiritual practices, to read, maybe listen to a positive podcast, or I now have Audible and I listen to some of my mentors on Audible, especially Neville Goddard. So what's your go-to? Do you stay all day scrolling on Facebook, going through all of the negativity and the arguments and who's doing what and who said what and who hates who? Or are you going inside and then maybe taking yourself out in nature, doing a little nature walk or hugging a tree or planting flowers? Springtime's coming. It's a great time to do some of that work in nature, isn't it? Kathy says, I do my best to unfollow people who seem to only post negative political or controversial topics. I choose peace. I choose peace. I choose fun. I choose compassion. I go to places where I know, like on YouTube, where I know I can find teachings from gurus and monks and people who I look to as mentors who have taught me a lot in this lifetime. And I listen for a few minutes of what they have to say. If it's not resonating, then turn it off. And I encourage all of us to do that. If you find yourself on social media and it's giving you that yuck feeling, that ick, like, I don't think I need to be here right now, turn it off. Do something. Go into the other room and take a breath. Walk outside. It's getting nice enough, I think, in most places now where you can venture out. The weather here is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so fortunate to be here in South Florida. But just take a break. Let your mind rest. Let your body rest. We all need that. And Jennifer, we muck the stalls. I love that. What a great way to get rid of yuck, right? Go out and take care of what needs to be taken care of. And yes, it is Mardi Gras. I saw some of that fun. Sherry Myers is a dear friend of mine. She lives right there in New Orleans, and she's been enjoying Mardi Gras in her town. And Annie, I don't know if you've been able to drive up to New Orleans to see any of it or not. I know it's probably crazy there with the streets and a lot of them being blocked off. So maybe you'll just enjoy it virtually like I am. Deirdre says, I go all up in my happy place while being in my happy place with my happy thumpy. Your little thumpy is gorgeous. And give Thump an extra stroke for me. Let him know how much I appreciate and love Thump. Okay, so that's the lesson for today. I didn't mean for it to be a lesson, but somehow it just turned into it. I was thinking that as I was sitting with the angels, and I'm thinking, this sounds like it's a lesson that I need to put together a class for and help us all to practice the pause. So I don't know, there may be something there. I will just ask. I always ask if I should do a retreat, if I should do a workshop, if I should do anything. I ask first, and they always give me direction. So maybe it will be a pause class where we can all practice it together. Annie, you have parades there where you're at. I don't go to many of them, but I might bring Grayson this afternoon to one. Yeah, he would love that, I'm sure. And Jean says it's a new moon, the start of the fire horse year, and an eclipse at noon today. Oh boy, at noon today, I will be having a tooth pulled, one that really needs to be pulled. It's a broken tooth that I've been living with for a bit, and all the dental work that's been done lately and still being done, I think has shifted something, and so it's very irritating on the inside of my mouth. So it's coming out today at noon, right when the eclipse is happening. So I'm just going to intend it's going to be a good experience, no pain, no discomfort, and an easy recovery afterwards. So I'll ask you all to pray for that with me. And speaking of prayers, I heard from our Charlie Coons yesterday that he's still in the hospital. They are doing a lot more testing, and they're going to do some test today. He told me what it was called, but I've forgotten already. But he has asked us to pray for him. He will be on antibiotics, trying to clear up that infection. For the next 6 weeks, he'll be taking that antibiotic. I think they're going to let him go home before he has to come back, and they'll check him again and see what's going on with his heart. So please keep him in your prayers. Oh, Kathy Hand, I know. I've never in my life looked forward to having a tooth removed, but this time I am. I'm looking forward to the relief, actually. And I found out that it's very infected. And I think that is some of the cause of my stomach issues. Okay, so what else? Prayers for peace. And Deirdre is here. Deirdre always puts up a beautiful daily prayer for us to read. And prayers for you, Linda, and for your son. You ask us for that. And Linda, I did see your message yesterday. I don't think I responded to you, but I know you sent me a message. And yesterday I was out of it. I had a whole day of just being out of it with the stomach issues. I did have my blood work drawn before I got very sick. So that was good to sit with my friend Mary. She's not here this morning, but it was really good to visit with her. All right, so Deirdre, our daily prayer for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, for world peace, attention to human trafficking, support for all families living with addiction, our troops, the USA, the UK, India, for Teri and her family, and any traveling peas. Thank you for that, Deirdre. And Kathy says Colin's overall health has improved since his bad tooth was pulled and other dental work completed. It makes such a difference really does. And never had a good experience with the dentist until now. I found a very good one, which I know the angels brought to me. And the whole office is amazing. They're just amazing. They love the Peace on Earth tour. They're following now what's going on with the tour blogs, reading those. And I would love to have those blogs go out further to people so they could get more of the teaching that the angels are doing. So if you would like to share it when I put it out, please do share it to people who may need to hear those words, that maybe they need to hear about the pause. Like I said in the message, I wish the whole collective here on earth learned that method of just stopping for a minute and breathing before reacting or responding. It would make a big difference. Michelle, prayers for everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Prayers for Charlie and prayers for our Sally and Tony. And give us an update when you can, Sally, about how you two are doing. Especially, I know Tony had another infusion and hopefully is doing very, very well. That's going to be to feel better and better every day. Okay, well, let's get into our prayer time. Thank you, Kathy. I know that you read them every day, and I appreciate that. I'd like to ask for prayers for my friend Don Baker. He's not with us this morning. Normally he does jump in here. So prayers for him. He's got a lot going on right now and a lot of stress. So let's lift Don up and wrap our arms around him as one of our fellow P's who needs a little relief from all of that stress, and prayers for his little daughter, Gia. Okay, so breathe in. The breath connects us. It connects the heart to our brain, connects the outside world to our inner world and our higher self. And as we take that breath in, focus on love, focus on compassion, focus on bringing more peace into the world. And now let's focus on these prayers, all these prayer requests, all of the written requests that we have, all of the unspoken requests that you hold in your heart. Let's breathe in and wrap our arms around each person, each situation, each animal. And let's begin to raise our frequency as we go up, 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 going up through the dimensions, up to the great central sun with the Creator, with all of divinity, Divine Mother, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, ascended masters, loved ones, gurus. We bring these prayers forth, and God, we ask that you see each prayer, see each person, the struggles, the challenges, celebrations. Help us, God, to put you first in our lives. Help us to always remember that if we take the time to pause, we bring forth your energy, not our ego-centered energy. Thank you for the miracles that you bring. Thank you for the love that you shower on us. Thank you for bringing peace on earth. We're going to give gratitude before we see that miracle because we know it is coming. God, we ask you to bless the planet, bless Gaia and the moon. Help each of us to stay calm, to stay centered, to stay grounded. Help us to be a beacon of light through someone's darkness today. by the simple things, sharing a smile, a kind word, maybe a word of peace when there's arguments. You just want to say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you to all of divinity. We love you. We honor you. Amen and amen. And Om Shanti. Om, peace in our world, peace in our hearts, peace in our homes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for being here. I love you so much. Thank you, Deirdre, for starting us off with our words that we say. Thank you. I love you. And when we can remember that the only thing that matters is how well did we love. At the end of the day, we're not going to think about material things. We're not going to think about all the bad times. It's going to be, how well did I love? And did I show that love? Or did I hide it in my heart and not let it out? So today, let the love out. Let this be the day that you shine a light through love and share it out there, everywhere, to everyone. Maybe send a little text message to someone you haven't heard from and say, thank you, I love you. That's all you need to say. Thank you, I love you. And say it to yourself. Don't forget, love yourself first. That's your survival. By filling yourself and your heart full of love, it's like filling your lungs full of oxygen. And then you can reach out to others. I love you. Oh, Annie, that sounds like fun. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Aloha and mahalo for joining in with us today. Love you so much. Take good care, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk. If not, I will reach out and let you know that I won't be doing a show, but I'm going to plan on doing it. I think I shall be able to. All right. Bye now.